with a fun video this week. We're just excited about this. Hopefully you guys get some practical ideas out of this. We are going to share with you guys some of our favorite Christian movies. And some of them are a little more like less popular, maybe low budget, but still good. And then others you probably have heard of, but we're just going to give you guys all of our favorites and everything we could think of.
Yeah, we've been watching Christian movies for forever,
Yeah.
basically. Like, it started with VeggieTales. They didn't make the list, but we've been watching Christian movies kind of forever. So I feel like we know a lot of pretty good ones that, like, we talk about and people don't know. We're like, you should watch the movie. Yeah. All right, so these are in no particular order. We're just going to read the title, and then we'll talk about it a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, first.
Oh, wait a minute. We are going to tell you now, we're going to try not to give away like details, because that would be annoying.
Yes, basic
we don't
plot
want
to intrigue you so you watch the movie and then, you know. Also, if you have watched any of these, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you liked it, didn't like it.
Oh, and we always want new video ideas.
Always.
So, always send those.
So, any Christian movies, any movies you like, just let us know, and we'll check them out.
Yeah.
All right, first one. Do you believe?
Oh, that one's so good. Okay, so Do You Believe? I think it came out a while ago.
I mean, it's been at least 5 years.
We watched it a while ago. Yeah. That was probably one of the first like adultish Christian movies we watched. And there's some like intense parts, like I would call intense-ish. But that one is so good. I love it because there's so many different stories. Remember, it's like
and they all connect.
Yeah, like all the different people, and then they just like all come together.
Yeah, the plot in that one is, oh my word, like so good.
Yeah,
like we've watched it so many times just because it's so good.
Yeah, so and it's been a while, so we're gonna have to watch that sometime.
Yeah, we should definitely. All right, next one, Beyond the Mask.
Oh, Beyond the Mask.
This one's really different. So the other one's like modern day, and most of these are modern day. This one is set in the Revolutionary War, and this guy kind of needs to get a new identity because there's issues. And so he moves and tries to get a new identity, and then it's this whole like mystery thing. But there's also
it's like crazy. Like it took me like 5 times watching it to figure out what was happening.
There's
some
so
of it
much
was
that
kind of
happens.
confusing to me, but it's
all
really
old
good.
Guys look the same, but we recommend it.
Except for Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin makes
just like Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, it's like exactly what you would picture. It's kind of creepy.
So that one's really fun, especially if you're into like historical fiction. But there's a very strong Christian message in it of redemption and of just the whole thing. There's so many good points.
Kind of like sci-fi type of thing. I mean, not really, but it's like
the technology stuff is more like sci-fi.
Technology and then like killing over it. Anyway, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's so different than most Christian movies. Like, I would love to see more movies made in that style. Personally, it's pretty cool. That one's really good. The next one is Polycarp, and this one isn't modern. This is set in the early church, so like 80, 50 or something. Right,
it's about like the Christian martyrs and like the early church, like how there was persecution and stuff. But
it's crazy. Like
it is crazy.
It's
like hard to imagine, really.
It really is. It's so real. Like honestly, obviously, like you hear about the persecution, especially in the early church. But seeing it happen, like, it's very intense, but it's so good. That's a very, that one's really good. I would highly recommend that movie. That one is just, it's so good. And kind of like eye-opening to like what it maybe really was like. But it's also kind of intense because of that. But it's a good movie. And then challenges you, like, here in America, we face basically nothing compared to that. And these people were still so brave and so willing to share their faith. And so every time I watch it, I just like want to tell everyone about Jesus. It's so convicting. All right, this one's a little different. It's called Remember the Goal.
Okay. Yeah. This movie is totally different. It's not so much of like the action and adventure.
Yeah.
It's more like
a real life.
Set in a high school. Yeah, it's modern day. It's basically about the sports team at the high school, and like there's this new coach, and she just like does everything different. But like it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's probably lower budget, so it's not like, you know,
the fanciest movie.
Yeah, but it's
honestly,
still really good.
I think we found out Amazon Prime the first time we watched it, and I was like really skeptical because it looked like pretty cheesy, but I remember being very impressed with the movie.
Yeah.
And like really liking the plot. We've watched it a couple times.
Yeah.
So that one's really good. All right.
Just disclaimer. That one is also very family friendly.
Yeah.
So like some Christian movies, some on our list,
several of them are not.
Maybe don't watch with your family, like everybody.
Like 12 plus.
If there's kids, that's what I mean. Yeah. But that one would be great. Yeah.
Just be discerning, you know, your family rules, whatever.
All
right, this one is probably a little more common, but we love the God's Not Dead movies.
Yes.
So they have 3, 1, 2, and 3, and they're all like so different. Like it's actually really interesting.
Yeah. I love how they were able to make them all so different.
Yeah, it's like the same theme in all of them with like separate sub-points, and they make such unique plots. Yeah. It's really good.
It's impressive, and they're such good movies. Like, like the message is kind of the same in all of them, but they're just so different.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. And I don't even know, I don't have a favorite.
No.
Like, they're just all really
I don't think I do either, because they're all so different. Like, you can't choose, really.
Right.
I don't know if you have to watch them in order. They don't really build on each other much.
I would say you don't have to watch them in order.
They grow in intensity, though.
Yeah, that might be true.
So there's that. Right. But those are really good. If you haven't watched those, highly recommend.
I hope they make more.
Yeah. I mean, they made 3 in like a few years, so they'll probably make more.
They might.
Let's hope so. I think they also are the ones who made Do You Believe? Isn't that right?
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah.
So that company does a lot of really great Christian movies. All right, the next one is Home Beyond the Sun.
Oh, yeah. So this is another one like persecuted Christians, but it's different because it's a little more modern day, but it's set in China.
It's so good, though.
It's like
I don't even remember. Like, we just got it. It's one of those like DVD packs we got it, and we just watched it. We weren't like searching for it. It's so good. Like,
and I feel like it's probably not very like well known, but you really should watch it.
Yeah, that one. Oh my word.
So good.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it's definitely one of my tops. It's just so good.
Just go watch it, and then you know.
Yeah. And then leave a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think
without spoiling it.
Yes. All right. The next one is The Case for Christ.
Okay.
Do you remember this one?
Yeah. I remember parts about it. I feel like it was like a little while ago it came out, a few years maybe. And then I think that one was kind of a big thing though, wasn't it?
It was. It was a huge, it's based on the books that kind of became bestsellers like really quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's just the story of this atheist, and he was a detective, and so he was really trying to see if the Bible is true. And so
actually, like you said, but he was doing it in a way that he was trying to disprove the Bible. And he didn't really think it would be this big thing. He just thought it would be kind of easy, and then I can disprove it, and then I can, base my life off of it.
That was the main point, so he could have a solid argument against Christians and stuff.
Right.
But then, obviously, he realized, wait, this actually might be true. Right. And then it's this whole progression. And then, we're not going to spoil anything, but then after things happen, then a lot changes in his life. And it's just so cool. Like, it's really a great one. If you haven't seen it, I think it came out like 3 years ago, but that one's really good.
Yeah, it's a good one to watch.
All right, and one we watched, this one's also family friendly, is Indescribable. Now, this is probably one of our first Christian movie ones.
This is, I'm sure, before the other one. Yeah. It's just, it's family friendly. It's just like so sweet, and like there's kids in it, like cute kids.
It's so good. It's just like really well written too.
Yeah,
like it's entertaining for all levels.
Right.
Because we even watched it.
Yep.
When we watched it when we were older, we were still like really loving it. It's definitely not just for kids.
Right. So this one is not modern day either. It's based on the life of the writer of the song The Love of God. Yeah. Beautiful song, him. And it's based on his life and like how he wrote the lyrics and stuff, and then like the life of his family and what they were living through during this time.
It's crazy.
It's really cool.
Really cool. And then it like time jumps backwards. It's so cool. I love that part.
Yeah.
So that one's definitely a really great one with a family, even if it's just you're older. It's really great message. All right, this another popular one. I Can Only Imagine.
Okay, yeah. So I Can Only Imagine, I'm sure as you know, you've probably heard of this one. It just came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah, really recently.
Yeah, probably 2 years ago. And it's about another songwriter, but like a modern one.
I think isn't it the founder of Mercy Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's the Mercy Me group.
He had a crazy story of how God rescued him and changed his life.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go watch it if you haven't.
It puts a whole new meaning on the song.
Yeah.
It's really neat that
And
way.
then if you like Mercy Me or you're familiar with their other music, he's their founder and like their lead singer. And so all of his experiences still lead into his other songs, you know? Yeah. So it's really cool. And then the producers of that one put out one either this year or last year, and it's called I Still Believe.
Yeah.
This one's the story of Jeremy Camp, and he also went through a lot in his life.
Yeah.
And
what group was that with?
I think he's just a singer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he might have backup singers, but he's just like him.
Sounds good.
So he, I don't know. It's so hard to say things without spoiling it because it's so good.
That one was really cool because it has this whole, not really side story, but kind of side story.
Yeah. You don't realize it's a side story.
Right. Yeah. The story was like with his wife and like everything they went through. So that is definitely, they're both really good movies that you should look into.
Yeah. Especially if you like those singers, then it'll help you realize some more of their background and their music choices and how God has really changed their life and led them in the Christian music industry that they're in now. All right, we have a couple more. Is Princess Cut. Now this one's really sweet. We watched it.
This one.
It's so sweet. It's just like
so cute.
It's kind of like a Hallmark, but it's really not cheesy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true. That's
like it's not like cheesy. It's not predictable.
It is kind of a romance movie.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the romance.
So much more than that. And so basically this girl has trouble with relationships and keeps finding bad guys, doesn't think there's any good guys out there. And then she does a lot of study and research about what this actually means. And then things happen in the movie, and it's just like a really cool picture of how beautiful marriages and relationships are and how God really intended these things to work, you know?
Right.
So that one's really sweet. If you like Hallmark, like you would love this movie. Like it's so cute.
Right.
All right, another one is called Like Arrows. Now this is one of my favorites. It was it kind of traced a family line and how they weren't Christians and how their family was, and then they became Christians and how their life changed, and then a lot of things happened, but it's really good.
And that one has the side stories too because of like it's a family and then they grow older and they have their own kids and like so you kind of get different stories and perspectives.
And it just really shows the strong family structure that a Christian family can have, and so it's really good. I think we've only seen that one once, but we've been wanting to.
We should see that one again.
Yeah.
That one's a little newer.
Yeah, a couple
Last
years.
few years,
And then this one wasn't written by them, but it was actually produced by the Kendrick brothers. And the Kendrick brothers probably have some of the most famous Christian movies. And so you may or may not be familiar with them. I'm just going to read some of their titles so you can look them up. Flywheel, Fireproof, Courageous, Facing the Giants, Overcomer, and War Room.
Yes, and War Room is my favorite.
They're all so good.
Yes,
though.
I think every time they put a new one out, I'm like, this is my favorite.
Same.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm kind of stuck on War Room.
Yeah.
War Room is my favorite right now. I just like, they're all so good, so different, and like, even the more recent ones are like more complex and like developed than some of the earlier ones.
Right. They don't go in order, they're just like standalones.
Right, they don't, right.
But it's so good. Like, I don't know. A lot of Christian movies, not necessarily the ones we mentioned, but like are really cheesy or like, we bought some really kind of corny ones. But it's like, they really write good movies. Yeah. Like, always have so many different points to them, always have great lessons, and I mean, they're also really great at adding in like comedy and like so much goes into these movies. They're just so good.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you definitely to watch those.
Watch all of them.
All of them. Just a marathon.
If you don't like one of them, just move on and watch the next one. Don't give up on all of them.
It's like a list of 20, so you got a lot of options.
Yes. So we are like so excited to share these with you. Like, we love movies. We love like Christian movies because then they're like safe. And like, So we love more ideas. So let us know in the comments if you have other Christian movies that you enjoy watching. Maybe some ideas on where you find them, anything like that. And we'd love to hear that.